3 years ago, the men of Magic Mike popped, locked, grinded and straight up thrusted their way into every woman's fantasy. But no longer the indie darling about drugs, betrayal and broken dreams, the filmmakers are back for this next chapter, seeing the softer side of stripping. And this time, the guys of Exquisite are going on a road trip.
I got a little treat for y'all tonight. We're gonna see if he's still got some magic in that mic.
Hosting a massive arena premiere in Sydney in front of a crowd of 5,000 people, two of the film's stars walked the red carpet, including Magic Mike himself, Channing Tatum, as well as Joe Manganiello, director Greg Jacobs, and writer-producer Reid Carolin. There was also some surprise Aussie talent showing us their signature moves. Entertaining the crowd, keeping them warm and oh so happy on this cold winter's night, these boys... Wow. Yeah, sorry. But back to the task at hand. I asked these filmmakers why they opted for this tonal shift the second time around.
The movie is completely different than the first one in that the first film is about a guy looking at the darker side of this world of male stripping and then leaving it. And the second one is a movie about him remembering the parts of this world that he really loved and that he was kind of good at and going back on the road with these guys who he learns to start a new friendship with.
The road trip was something that Channing really went on. So we thought it provided a perfect kind of backdrop and opportunity to shift tone and bring in new characters.
It's more of a comedy. We want it to be more fun in the theater and more for all the women that came to see the first movie.
After 2 films, surely these guys have now forgotten more about stripping than any normal person would ever know.
And I didn't learn any really cool moves. I mean, I watched them do them, and I knew how to talk to them about them, but I can't do them.
Having also written the first Magic Mike, Reid Carolin is a close friend of Channing Tatum's and his producing partner too. So I had to ask, does he realise that every time he writes this, his friend then has to go and perform it?
Yeah, I mean, luckily he's there with me so I can say, are you sure you want to do this? But yeah, generally speaking, it's kind of crazy to be able to sit with my buddy and write an insane male stripping movie like this. But the cool thing is, he did this in real life. I mean, there's no version of us making this movie if at one point in his life he didn't get in a U-Haul with a bunch of strippers and drive up to a stripper convention. I mean, who does that? Taking
over directing duties from Steven Soderbergh is his longtime assistant director, Greg Jacobs. But Steven wasn't too far away, acting as cinematographer for XXL. So what was it like having Papa Bear always over your shoulder?
He's one of my best friends, and, I've stood over his shoulder for 20 years as his producer. So it was fun, really fun. It's great to work with your friends, and I had a lot of really good friends on the movie. So it was fun. We had a great time.
And just to have a little bit more fun, we asked if they were a stripper, what would their signature song be?
I don't know. I'll go with Heaven by Bryan Adams. Yeah.
Excellent choice. Thank you for talking to us.
Thanks.
Good night. The Kings of Tampa and their breakaway pants are sliding into cinemas this Thursday. So head to the website for our review and remember, like it, follow it, right here at Switch.